Welcome, Cancer, to your October 2023 ethics reading with me, Daniel Natal, where you'll get your Natal chart. Some of the themes that you're going to be dealing with this month are going to be related to other people's envy. You are also going to be dealing with kind of romantic situations that are going to be coming up your way. And you're going to have a lot of interesting kind of situations this month that are coming up to you. But you're also going to have some pleasant surprises with money. So that's kind of cool. I am a big believer, as you know, with ethics cards that have kind of the greatest sayings of the most illustrious minds, the greatest thinkers, philosophers, and ethicists. And I do believe in being intuitive and the universe kind of sending you messages. So this month I'm going to shuffle the cards. And I'm going to pick 3 cards at random. And let's see what message the universe has for you this month. The first reading is: the strength of a man's virtue should not be measured by his special exertions, but by his habitual acts. Pascal. Let me repeat that. The strength of a man's virtue should not be measured by his special exertions, but by his habitual acts. This is something that goes with Aristotle. Aristotle makes the same point. He says that excellence is not an act, it's a habit. And that's kind of what ethics are. Ethics is habit formation, right? And in fact, Cicero, back in antiquity, he said that, he described it as a second nature, right? And we still use that phrase today, someone creating a second nature through habits, right? So you're always going to have habits. And if you just do nothing, you kind of like float through life. You're going to acquire a lot of bad habits, a lot of vices. But you can hack your brain. We are set up as animals to kind of go on autopilot, and it's just what nature does to us, right? We have the basal ganglia in the back of the head, and it does involuntary musculature movements like blinking, heartbeat, respiration. But it also does stuff like smoking addiction, alcoholism, like all those things. So it's as hard to kick one of those addictions as it is to like quit blinking. And that's why it's such a monumental exertion to try to like get over that kind of stuff. And so in ethics, you're basically hacking your brain to create good habits. And that's one of the themes this month. Let's see, another theme for you this month, another suggestion from the universe is: virtue has been the chief competitor with pleasure for the position of soul good. G.E. Moore. Virtue has been the chief competitor with pleasure for the position of soul good. And so basically, we live in a time period of utilitarianism, right? And in utilitarianism, they say that it's kind of like the hedonists of antiquity, the Epicureans who believe that like the point of life was pleasure. And that's what we're told all the time. That's marketed to us. And instead of that, instead of pleasure, the Stoics said you should do what is right, not just what, it's not just, oh, it feels good, do it, right? Because that might lead to, disease and decay and all sorts of bad situations. So one of your messages this month is kind of like, do what's right, not just what brings you pleasure. And let's see, the next message for you from the universe is: the most important attribute of man as a moral being is the faculty of self-control. Herbert Spencer. The most important attribute of man as a moral being is the faculty of self-control. And that's kind of what we were just talking about, right? Don't just go for pleasure. Have self-control, right? I was reading a book, and in fact, I did the audiobook of Charles Lyell. He did Principles of Geology back in 1830, and he said that the advent of man in the universe, like what that represented, he said, like man did not represent a significant change in musculature or in mammalian, kind of structures of the body, or having hair or eyes or any of that. Other animals had all that. He said the thing that made man new and revolutionary was his moral aspect, right? He could choose his destiny. He could make conscious decisions, and that's what ethics is all about. So these are your messages for this month. You're going to have a pretty decent month, but just kind of like I said, there might be some romantic themes. So be careful of just going to the pleasure and to kind of do the right thing rather than just, the if it feels good, do it. And I will see you next time. Remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons. And if you want some extra personal ethics coaching for an issue that you might have, you can set up a Zoom call with me by pressing one of the buttons below in the description. Pick what calendar date and time you want, and we can hash over whatever thorny moral dilemma that you're facing. Also, check out my Ethics Fundamentals course. The links are below, and I'll catch you next time. Get my book, Actionable Ethics, to understand the basic concepts of ethics, as well as to learn how and why moral structures permitted us to create an advanced civilization. Without those moral structures, society falls apart. You can order the ebook by going to my website, actionableethics.com, or a physical copy by going to online retailers like Amazon.com. Learn how to embed ethics into your business processes during onboarding for new employees, and discover how to generate an ethical cultural field at your business or even among your children at home. Order it now. Actionable Ethics.